Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm here in, I think it's Fort Lauderdale in Florida. With me, I've got Pompano. With me, I've got Paulie Malignaggi. Paulie, this is the first time I've interviewed you, which is it's a new one for me, and it's a pleasure, it's an honour, so thank you for doing this. You're here in Florida, you've been here for a while, man. How are you enjoying it? How's life?
I'm good. Anytime I'm in Florida, it's a better time. This is the last free place on earth, I think. so I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy to be here as well. Unfortunately, I was here for the Teofimo Lopez fight, but I got cancelled, so I've just sort of like made a little mini vacation, and I knew you were here, so I jumped on it, right? But I want to obviously talk boxing, obviously, with you and stuff like that. I know we had a great conversation in there, but I'm not going to let anyone know what we were talking about in there. But yeah, let's just jump straight to you. TikTok guy, chalk, slap at the back of the head, man. What's going on with that?
Oh man, we didn't even warm into it, man. We went right to it. Listen, I don't know, man. I mean, I've been saying that these TikTokers and YouTubers and Instagrammers and all this other stuff, they're out of hand, man. You know, it's like you got a following and you start boxing and you're superseding all the guys that put in the work. I don't have a problem with the Paul brothers. They've got years on into this. But what the problem that I do have is they've started a movement where now any jerk off that starts boxing all of a sudden will just, you know, demand that they want to fight, and they'll surpass anybody who's got years and also skills. I mean, more skill set in it, you know. So I basically had gotten myself into a beef with this Corey B. And it didn't start out as a beef. It said basically like, yo, listen, bro, simmer down. You know what I mean? You're not a fighter. He's trying to make like you look like a pro in the gym. You're not a fighter. Simmer down. This is the problem with all you. You think you want to jump the line without paying the price with blood and sacrificing the time. And all of a sudden, you know, he got offended. And basically, I put it to him straight. I said, listen, bro, we both know that if I'm in your face, you're not going to say this. If we're in the same room, you're not going to say this. You're in the studio. I'm where I'm at right now. You're not going to talk. You're not going to talk if I'm in the same room with you. You'd be quiet as a mouse. So I guess when I was working this fight, he shows up. I mean, unbeknownst to me, he smacks me in the back of the head with his powder. Naturally, at first, if you look at me, there was I was in a state of shock at first. Like I turn around looking at who the hell just slapped me, and then I see this kid and he's talking shit. He's saying, what do you say? Something about my cut or something. Where's your cut or how's your cut? I don't know. In that moment, I just went after him. The problem is the security had already seen him. I mean, they got a head start on me because they saw him crossing the barrier and they saw him smacking me. So they're already on their way. By the time I got to him, security's there. I'm trying to hold on to him so I can let go of some shots. But he's got my arm underneath and I'm trying to choke him from one side. He picked me up. The bouncer. It was a mess. It was a mess, and I was so mad that he got away with it. You know what I'm saying? I was so mad because I'm like, man. I was like, if I get there 1 second sooner, if the bouncers are just looking the other way, I got him trapped already, you know. But okay, so you got your 2 seconds of fame. You got your what do we call it? Your viral moment. You got your viral moment. What am I gonna do? You know what I mean? What am I gonna do? Fight this guy and beat him up, hurt him, and then I'm the bad guy? Because people are gonna say, yo, Paulie, listen, you know, you should know better. You shouldn't have hurt him like that because you know he's not on your level. Okay, all right. That's fine, but he's keepy. You know when it happens when you keep pinching at somebody, he's getting on my nerves, bro. He's all over, he's viral, he's got people. I got all these kids' fans asking me where's my neck. Or they started some kind of bullshit talk, where's your neck, how's your neck? You know how many comments? Look at my Instagram page, my recent posts. You know how many comments I got about how's my neck, where's my neck? You're polluting my entire page with this BS. So you keep pinching, listen, bro, what am I going to do? The only way you make it even is, what do I do? I fight him one-handed. I got to do it with gloves on, naturally. What am I going to do, fight you one-handed? What am I going to do? If I fight you with two-handed, I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to put you in the hospital, right? So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm thinking, like, you know, I'm going to put this out there because you want the fight so bad. I'm going to call your bluff. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to probably say something like, I'll do a one-handed. You can tie my right hand behind my back. I gave McGregor the same offer. He didn't want to take it. You know, I'll tie one hand behind my back. And what are we going to do? We'll tie one hand behind my back. How else can we do? You know what I'll do? I'll even show you how hard I'm training every day on Instagram. You can post your Instagram training pictures the way you're doing. Oh, you're going for it. I'm going to train like Great White Hype. You ever seen the movie Great White Hype with Damon Wayans? I'm going to train smoking, eating, and then I'm going to show up with a nice gut. I'm going to knock you the hell out. Right on national TV, with one hand. I'm just gonna repeat hooks. I'm gonna look like a fat Roy Jones. I'm gonna purposely gain weight for the fight, not lose weight because he's bigger than me anyway. So we got yeah. Who needs a training? What training? I'm gonna eat. That's my training. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna eat. That's it. I'm gonna eat. We're training. Who needs to train for this? I'll show you how I do it. The only way I'll do it though is if there's got to be a bet on the line. This is my proposition. There's got to be a bet on the line. If I lose to you, I am out of the boxing business. Commentating, fighting, analysis, everything. I'm out of the boxing business. But if you lose to me, you've got to make a public announcement after the fight telling all YouTubers, TikTokers to not the opposite of man your battle stations. Drop your battle stations. Exit from the sport of boxing and let the sport of boxing be, because I'm going to show you and I'm going to teach you that you don't play boxing. So if we're going to do it, it's got to be a little side bet going, you know what I mean? And like I said, I'm going to give you a chance to, see if you can handle me one-handed. See if you can handle me purposely showing you how I'm not in shape I am. And we'll see. We'll see if you can handle. We'll see how good your boxing skills are. He's hitting the pads. He's excited. His fans are excited about my neck. And you know what? You're going to give me back my neck, too. After I kick your ass, I'm going to take my neck back, too.
Are you saying that there's one more fight in you? You saying you got a fight left in you?
I'm kind of just talking, but at the same time, I'm thinking out loud. This is all like, because really, can you really take this kid seriously? What would you do if you were me? You know what I'm saying? It's like, can you take this kid really that seriously? I don't think you can. If I take him too seriously, I'm gonna hurt him. So what I'm gonna do it this way, and then I'm gonna hurt him anyway. But at least then I can say, hey, listen, I didn't know I was gonna hurt him. I fought him one-handed. I didn't even train. Now, if I hurt him, it's not on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't hold me responsible for that. I didn't even train for the fight. He wanted it. I gave him what he wanted. He's a full-blown adult. He knows the risks. If you don't know the risks, you find out the risks, right? So I don't know. In reality, it's really the only way to do it. But then like I said, that bet has to be in there. Yeah. I'll risk my entire existence in boxing. I'll risk it. I'll risk my entire existence in boxing. But he, on the other hand, has to make a public service announcement to all the YouTubers, all the Instagrammers, TikTokers, what else are they called? Whatever they called, Earths, Dosses, influencers, whatever it is. You got to make a public service announcement. Please, on behalf of, you are the spokesman, exit boxing, please. You got to exit boxing. Because you know what? Like I said, the Paul brothers, they got some years into this. But now you've seen this, bro, I think there's a YouTuber versus TikToker fight going on in the casino, bro. You know what I mean? You got to make a public service announcement. Bro, after I kick your ass, you got to make a public service announcement. Like, yo, bro, you guys got to stop. This is no good for the sport. This is no good for us. They're going to make punching bags out of all of us. You know what I mean? Right now, Jake Paul's been smart enough to not fight boxers. I think that's smart. He knocked out a YouTuber. Then he knocked out an NBA player. Then he knocked out an MMA fighter. And now he's fighting. Yeah, you're doing boxing as a YouTuber, but you're using MMA fighters as punching bags. It's not, it's technically, you're not really boxing in reality. You're creating like your own niche. The problem is it's taking away credit from the real boxers. Like, more people will honestly order Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley than will possibly order Fury versus Wilder, which is insanely a better fight. You know what I'm saying? And even if I think Fury's gonna smoke Wilder like a joint, it's still more interesting because Wilder can fight, Wilder can punch. There's still something of a question there. I just don't understand the question of the YouTubers fighting each other. Like, what do you get out of a YouTuber or TikToker fight? Honestly, what do you get out of it? Do you watch them train and you get excited? What do you get out of it?
I think it's a culture now with the TikTokers and the YouTubers and stuff like that. They've got these fan base for making these videos, and then the fans are like, "Oh, I want to see you fight this TikToker." It's the culture, the kids and stuff like that.
In my generation, there was battle rap, but these guys didn't actually fight. You know what I'm saying? Granted, Biggie and Tupac got killed, rest in peace. But you battled it out. You battle rap. Now these guys are boxing, but those guys could rap. You battle rap, but those guys know how to rap. So they were pros at what they were doing. Now you got this YouTuber versus TikToker thing, a boxer. These influencers are boxing each other. They don't know how to box, though. You don't know how to box. You don't know how to fight. What are you doing? And you idiots that are supporting this, what are you doing? What's happening over here? What is going on in this world, bro? What is going on?
I love a Paulie Malignaggi rant. So,
you know what it is, bro? I had too much coffee. I was in here. I actually had a Manhattan special, espresso, whatever. Too much caffeine. Too much caffeine, and now you're catching me at a wrong time where I'm ranting.
Listen, this is what I'm loving it, man. Can I get another coffee? Can I get another espresso for Paulie?
Because they know what's going to happen. You got to be careful. We're in 2021. Somebody's going to get offended, and then I'm in more trouble. You know what I'm saying? Granted, I don't care if I offend you, but I'm also trying to be a team player here.
Yeah, facts don't care about your feelings, eh? No, you know what I'm saying. So, Floyd Mayweather, Logan Paul. Then, what did you make of all that? A lot of people were saying, good, they made money, they're making money, that's what it's all about, but...
To a degree, okay, cool, they're making money. Also, Logan and Jake actually been boxing for years. Like, every day, like training every day, learning to box every day. You know, this is how you do this. They weren't on some part-time gig where they just randomly start fighting. Like, don't get me wrong. You know, Jake and Logan have gotten better and better and better. I don't think they're ever going to be a threat for a major world title. But then again, boxing shoots itself in the foot. They made Julio Cesar Chavez a world champion somehow. You know what I mean? Chavez Jr., not Senior. Senior, we got to respect. But, you know,
He's coming back.
Yeah, he'll probably beat up his son right now. If they make Senior versus Junior, Senior would beat Junior right now. And they box, Senior will beat Junior right now. But no joke. You know, even a YouTuber, Instagrammer, TikToker can't win a major world title. And what I mean by a major world title, I consider a major world title the main version of the top four, not the secondary version of any of the top four or any other versions of the top four. The main version of the top four. I don't think they can ever win that. Granted, they were able to make Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. win a major version of a top four. So I wouldn't say anything is impossible, because if you know, right now, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if Chavez Jr. lost to Anderson Silva. I wouldn't be shocked.
He missed weight, you know.
Of course he missed weight. What, do you think he was going to make weight? No. Chavez Jr. was going to make weight? Come on. That should have been in the contract already. We know he won't make weight, just can't show up this many pounds over or something, you know? But whatever. So boxing does shoot itself in the foot, but the problem is it just keeps going overboard and overboard and overboard. And that's the problem now. The Paul brothers, they've got years into this. But now you've got guys who started boxing yesterday looking for a fight, getting picked up by TV networks today. And these guys were much more deserving. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you mentioned Wilder and Fury and that, because it's always good to get because you shoot from the hip to go for yeah. So when you look at the heavyweight scene, I mean, the undisputed title fight getting arbitration with Wilder. Now we've got to see the trilogy with Wilder and Fury. We're not going to get to see the heavyweight undisputed fight, which is, as a boxing fan that you are, as well as a commentator and a fighter yourself, I'm sure you want to see that fight, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. But so what was your thoughts when that whole sort of scenario, that whole Wilder, Fury, Joshua type thing?
Well, my scenario is, I think it's hard for Wilder to match up against Fury. I think stylistically it's a bad fight for him. I think it's a bad fight for him. So we got the random crackheads that show up here and there. But you know, I think it's tough for Wilder to match up against Fury. I think Wilder is one of the best heavyweights in the world. I just don't think stylistically he matches up well against Fury. I don't think Wilder fights going backwards very well. For anybody that gives me the Szpilka knockout or the Ortiz knockout in the second, was it the first fight, or was it the second fight? I don't remember. Either way, a step back counter shot is not fighting going backwards. I'm talking about when a guy consistently backs you up to where your momentum is not taking you backwards, and psychologically you've got to be in reverse mode fighting. You know, that's what Fury does to you. And I don't think Wilder knows how to fight like that. And there's been, I don't think Wilder knows how to fight like that, but there's been some very good fighters that didn't know how to fight going backwards. Sometimes it's just a matter of styles, and so it's a problem, you know.
How did you see that fight then? I mean, like I said, this. As Wilder, did you see the press conference when he put his headphones in? Wilder, he didn't want to say anything, and normally Wilder needs that sort of. I think that he needs to be that guy. He needs to say the controversial stuff and be in the face of his opponents. What did you make of that whole thing, and how do you see the trilogy going?
I think Wilder has to believe his own hype in this situation because he lost that last fight. So I think he has to believe that there were reasons for it. For him, there shouldn't be excuses. He should feel that. I think he should feel that, but I just don't like the way he went about it with, blaming Breland and blaming everybody else. But in his mind, nonetheless, I don't think it's unhealthy for him to believe that going into the fight, because this way it gives him a reason to believe in himself for the rematch. Psychologically, you've got to put yourself in a different place when you're going into a fight. I can understand that. I just don't like the way he went about it. I think he's made a lot of disparaging comments towards Breland, towards a lot of people. Started to bring race into it just because Fury's white. I mean, if Fury would have been black, Deontay Wilder would not have brought race into it. That's the reason for me that Anthony Joshua has so many more fans than Deontay Wilder. You know, he doesn't talk about race unless it needs to be talked about. You know, like, this is not a subject worth exploring until it needs to be explored. Then when Wilder wonders why nobody roots for him, you're alienating a big part of your fan base. You know what I'm saying? So it's a thing where, if you're going to be the people's champion, then you got to do it a certain way. For me, that's why I think AJ is actually the most marketable guy in the heavyweight division, but I think Fury is probably the best fighter in the heavyweight division. And I think July 24th, he probably beats Wilder again.
How? Do you think he can stop him again?
Yeah, I think he's going to go about it the same way. I don't think Wilder can adjust to that. I think Wilder can fight. I do. I just don't think he can adjust to that particular part of his style that can't fight going backwards. And I think Fury is one of the rare guys that can back up Wilder. He's big enough, he's taller, he's heavier, and he's physically stronger. And people say, oh, well, he's not a big puncher. How is he hurting Wilder? Because when you're being backed up and bullied, something psychologically clicks in you that you're like, wow, it's like a man it's like a boy beaten up by a man. So it psychologically brings you down. Wilder may not have wanted to stop fighting in the last fight, and that shows the heart of a champion. But at the end of the day, he also was like a boy beaten up by a man. You know, he just couldn't stop that momentum of Fury. And I think, like Fury said, he's going to run him over again. I don't see Wilder being able to adjust to that. I don't see Wilder, being able to prevent that from happening again, And to me, Fury already showed he could outbox him in the first fight, but it was a good fight. But I think Fury outboxed him in the first fight. But the second fight where he just kind of ran him over, I think that's the approach to take. I think Fury is brilliant in realizing that at the end of round 12 of the first fight, to where he realized that if I back this guy up, he can't fight me. And I think it's going to be that same way again.
Well, going by your prediction there, Fury's kept his side of the bargain. Like he's left open for the Joshua fight. Now Joshua's not got an easy fight in terms of the Usyk. That's looking like it's going to be in December. Like Usyk, undisputed cruiserweight champion. Is he a real heavyweight? Is he big enough to keep Joshua at bay? Because Joshua's a good boxer himself in terms of his boxes. His punches are straight. They're not wild. Can Usyk outbox Joshua for 12 rounds and not get caught?
I mean, they're both Olympic gold medalists, so their pedigree is of very good boxers, right? I think Usyk has a bit more of an arsenal, but I just don't like the way Usyk's looked in the heavyweight division thus far. I think he's, I think he's a bit undersized for this version of the heavyweight division. It's funny because cruiserweights are bigger today too. Usyk is 6'3" or so, and the cruiserweights were never that big before. But at the end of the day, heavyweights are also bigger than the old heavyweights. Yeah, so it's Fury being 6'9", Joshua being 6'5", 6'6", Wilder being 6'6". So I do think that Usyk probably runs into that problem. He has a bit more versatility than Joshua, because being a smaller guy, but I think that still puts him in problems as far as being undersized. And he hasn't convinced me since getting to the heavyweight division. He's a terrific fighter. I think he can be a top 10 heavyweight. I just don't know if he can be a world champion at this heavyweight division. It's too big. So I probably favor Joshua, but I'm interested to see how Joshua deals with the skill set of Alexander Usyk.
Do you want to see? It might be a dumb question here, Paulie, but how desperate, as a boxing fan, that you want to see this undisputed fight between Joshua and Tyson Fury?
Of course, everybody wants to see it. I think everybody always wants unifications, big fights. We've seen Fury fight Wilder twice already. I think people are over that fight. I think it's a big fight in England, especially with AJ and Fury both being British, English. I think everybody wants to see it because it regards world boxing. It regards the unification of the heavyweight championship. So hopefully we get it after this. But I don't want to underestimate Usyk. I don't want to underestimate Wilder, but we have seen Wilder twice with Fury, and I don't think he matches up well. Not to underestimate Usyk, but I do believe AJ probably beats Usyk as well. So it leads you to believe that you hope to see the unification after this, but we'll see.
On the spot, who wins then?
On the spot is Fury. I think Fury's the best heavyweight in the world, so I think Fury wins it, but we'll see.
You spoke a little bit about boxing shooting itself in the foot and stuff like that, but when you look at like the fights that we want to see, Terence Crawford, Errol Spence and stuff like that, and all these big fights that we don't get to see, which is frustrating as a boxing fan, and we work in the sport, we know how frustrating it is to not get these fights on. You probably a big fight for yourself. You want the Conor McGregor fight, couldn't get that on. There's loads of fights that we just can't get for some reason, but we are getting to see Manny Pacquiao at 42 years old basically face Errol Spence. I mean, is it a dangerous fight for Pacquiao? Has he still got it? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think anybody Errol Spence fights is dangerous, but I think Pacquiao has also shown himself to be dangerous himself. He beat a younger Keith Thurman in his last fight. We'll see how it plays out.
Did you watch Josh Taylor versus Ramirez? I mean, at least we've got one undisputed. I know the heavyweights can't get the shit together to get the undisputed fight on, but we've seen the super lightweights. Did you watch that fight and what was your thoughts?
Josh Taylor is brilliant, really fought a brilliant fight. Respect to Jose Ramirez too. They both fought a terrific fight. Really entertaining. These are the kind of fights I think about when I realize when I'm complaining about the Instagrammers and YouTubers. How do you get into that BS of an Instagram or YouTuber when you can see this kind of skill set, this kind of excitement that the Taylor Ramirez fight brought you? I mean, it was a good fight. It was a nice, tough, good fight. I fought at a highly skilled level between both fighters, just another level, dimension in general, And more people would order YouTubers. It's crazy because those are the kind of fights that I think about. Are Taylor Ramirez when I think about how in the world would you rather watch a bunch of internet retard idiots on YouTube, on whatever channel it's picking them up, fighting each other? I mean, it's beyond my belief, man. It's beyond my belief.
You sound like. What do you have to do? What does boxing have to do to stop this then? To keep them over there like YouTubers and TikTokers. You can have your own show and box, but do it over there. Don't come in to like boxing and have guys like and fighting the undercard of top fighters. Is it okay for them to stay in their lane, like hire out a hotel and a casino? Do your YouTube TikToker thing, but don't come into our world.
I just think they can YouTube other stuff. I mean, aren't they famous on YouTube for doing other stuff? Yeah. I just don't understand why they want to put themselves in danger. You're gonna wind up getting one of yourselves hurt. That's all. I just feel like there's no need to go that route. You became famous on YouTube or TikTok doing whatever it is you do. I don't understand whatever it is you do, but I don't. I just feel like you can keep doing that and it's fine. Go fly a kite, bro. These people will watch anything. These people will watch anything. These people watch it playing video games. This generation watches people play video games on the internet. They watch them. And the people playing the video games get paid for it because enough people watch them. That's beyond my belief, bro. I used to watch my uncle play video games when I was like 8, 9 years old because I wasn't good enough at the video game yet to reach the late stages of the video game. So I wanted to see what the late stages of those video games looked like. But when I passed like 8, 9 years old and I could get to those stages myself, I didn't bother watching them because that was the only reason I watched, is to get to those levels and see what they look like. Bro, these people you got full-blown adults, full-blown teenagers. Teenagers, don't you want to get laid or something? No, I don't understand. You watch guys, you rather watch a guy playing video games? Bro, it's beyond me. It's crazy. So they can do anything, and these people will watch them. Why you gotta fight? Why would you put yourself in danger? Why would you do that to yourselves? And why are you gonna start calling out real boxers like this idiot? You know what I mean? It's crazy. Corey B, are you that dumb? Are you that dumb?
Is it going to have to take for one of these guys to get hurt? Is it going to have to take Paulie Malignaggi to fight Corey B, hurt him for it to stop?
I would hurt him if I fought him with two hands.
Does that have to happen?
I'll tell you what, it might have to happen, but I'll tell you what. Like I said, let him realize what level he's actually on and the reality. I'll do it one hand. I'll look like Roy Jones with those 4, 5, 6, 7 hooks in a row. That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'll end up doing that to him. And just for kicks, maybe I'll stop him with a body shot. Just for kicks. No
headshot, not complete knockout, little body shot.
No. If I'm fighting one-handed, I gotta hit him a couple times to the head. I gotta get that satisfaction. But we're gonna do it for a certain amount of rounds. I'll stop him with a body shot.
Have you got a message for Corey B, man? Because I know you've said stuff about him and stuff like that. But send him a message because I might clip this out. I don't know who this guy is. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know who Corey B is. He might be a TikToker, but I don't have TikTok. I don't do that. But I mean.
It's very simple. You're asking me how's my cut, G. I'm gonna ask you how's your face, G. How's your liver, G? When I'm cracking you all over all night, when I'm cracking you all over the place, I'm gonna say, how's your face, G? How's your liver, G? When you take that knee from a body shot I'm gonna hit you with, how's your liver, G? That's what I'm gonna do. And we'll see. Well, we can both ask each other how's things.
Paulie, man, honestly, like. You still got the passion for the sport. I can see it, man. I mean, like you still do your commentary side and stuff like that. But is there still one more fight in you? Because I know we see fighters. I don't know if you've announced your retirement, but they haven't fought in a while.
I'm officially retired. When I say I retired, it means I'm not campaigning. But you never know these little things that happen. You never know. I feel like nobody's actually retired, but. Really retired, but I feel like when you retire, you're done campaigning, and campaigning means you're after world honors, right? So I wouldn't say I'm after world honors, but sure, if there's little things in between to fit in, I get in where I fit in, But especially, it has to make sense, When this whole beef with Corey first started, honestly, I didn't take it seriously. I didn't think it was that big of a deal, to be honest with you. And then this guy slapped me. To tell you the truth, I still didn't think it was that big of a deal. But when I realized how many idiots this guy is following him, you've invaded my Instagram page. Everybody on my Instagram page is asking me how's my neck. It's crazy. Like, it's funny, but it's not funny. You polluted my whole page with this crap. So, now it's like, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna beat up on him and I'm gonna ask him a few questions. How's his liver? How's his cheek? How's his face? I got my orbit bone broke once too. Maybe I'll ask you the same thing if I crack you enough times. I'll ask him a couple questions myself. It's only natural, right?
Well, I'm gonna say, let me put this out to you. I'm a YouTuber. I'll fight him. You train me. How's that?
You know what? We can reverse roles a little bit. We'll see. I tell you, anybody can be a YouTuber, right? Is there a qualification to be a YouTuber? Do you have?
Just have a channel.
That's it. You just have a channel and
Paulie Malignaggi TV.
And that's it.
I'll that idea now, look.
Well, we'll even add the powder.
Yeah, definitely. Well, boy, we're here. Where are we again? Pompano Beach. I mean, what can I do around here, man? I'm here with Chris Glover. Get some decent food. You go anywhere? You're Italian, man. You know good food.
I go to Las Olas Boulevard. I go to my friend Vito at Casa Calabria. Las Olas Boulevard has a couple of good places too, and of course Miami is a good pizza and locales and other places. There's a lot to do around here.
Well, it's been a fun interview, man. We had a great conversation in there, but I'm not going to divulge what was going on in there.
My Cafe Sportivo, a little slice of the old Brooklyn Italian neighborhood, watching the European Cup.
Well, if you're ever in Pompano Beach,
Mind you guys, for all my British friends, I'm sorry, it's not coming home. It's not. Right? England is not going to win the European Cup. But Italy, you got to admit, Italy looks the best right now. Especially after today with France drawing. You got to admit, Italy's the best team in the Euro right now. You got to admit.
Thoughts on Scotland?
Nah, bad. No. It's bad. It's bad news. Scotland was bad. Scotland played to not win in a game they needed to win. That's how bad they are.
We tried, man.
England, come on, bro. You broke out in counterattacks and then you started kicking it back to the defense, to passing back to the defense. No way.
It's cold.
They were clear. England was very subpar yesterday. It was clear counterattacking opportunities. Scotland would break out and then just stop and kick back and then just pass back.
You know your sport. You know, like the players.
Here's the thing.
Name a Scottish player. Name a Scotland player.
A Scottish player right now.
See, we don't play for the big teams. We do. Some of them do.
I remember Burley because he's the analyst on ESPN. No, he's all right. He's not big. He's a good analyst. No, honestly, you don't play for the big teams because you're not good enough to play for the big teams, though. Oh, Rangers and Celtic. That's
Andy Robertson plays for Liverpool.
Okay, all right.
Well,
he's not even the best left back, mate.
He's the best left
Listen,
back.
I got love for the Scots. Gattuso played there.
Yeah.
I love Gattuso. As a Southern Italian myself, I love Gattuso. So he played in Scotland for a little bit. So there's love for the Scots. But honestly, my whole life, Scotland has not had really that good of a national team. I think they've been okay in the past. I think even Celtic won a Champions Cup way back in the day. So I think you do have a little bit of a history. But in my lifetime, it's been pretty poor. And that game. The England-Scotland game that I watched was probably the most poor game of the whole European Cup so far. I think both teams were very subpar.
Well, boy, that fucking hurt my feelings a little bit. But so your honesty, that's what I love.
I might get into football punditry from boxing punditry.
No, YouTubers coming to boxing, you go to football.
I'm raised by Italians, bro. Culture's the game.
Yeah, you do a podcast as well, don't you? You do the podcast now.
With Boxer.
The Calcio one.
Oh, with Calcio, yeah, I make some guest appearances on Calcio. My boys on IFL TV, Italian football TV. And they've got a good following, good little cheap plug for my boys, Italian Football TV. And I make some guest appearances with them. And I have a chat after all the Italy games with my boy Robbie D'Alessandro. We do Azzurri talk. We discuss the Italy game after every European Cup game. We've been discussing live on IG, Instagram, live about the Italy game we just watched. And of course, I do the Boxer podcast where we discuss boxing with my diehard Chelsea cohort fan, Savage Dan. Savage Dan is a huge Chelsea fan. They got Jorginho, so I got some love for Chelsea. They got the Italian midfielder, the adopted Brazilian Italian midfielder, but nonetheless. But Chelsea, Chelsea's actually been a good club. We had Di Matteo there, we had Zola there. You've had some good Italians at that club.
Definitely.
That Carlo Ancelotti can fuck off though.
You know what? The Everton fans has spoken. The Everton fan has spoken.
Fuck off.
There you go, Chris. Well, Paul, it's been an absolute pleasure to get this done with you and have a chat with you. I wish I could have divulged what was there. My views would be skyrocketing if we had that discussion. What was going on in there, man? You've got me hooked, man. I love it, man. But Paulie, thank you so much for doing this 5 TV. It's been a pleasure, and enjoy the rest of your day.
My pleasure. Thanks.
Thanks very much, man. Thank you.